Testing, testing, testing. All right. It's that baby making music. what are we talking about today? I think y'all gonna like what we're talking about today. All guys be talking like that to the ladies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why our show today is about celibacy, or you just got to have it. Man, I don't know about celibacy, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I think I just got to have it. okay. Anyway. Wait, no, my Urban's to come in until he gets here.
Can you hear me?
Definition of celibacy. I can hear you now. I gotta turn you down because you're kind of loud. You jumping out there, you're kind of loud. Let me see. I think I got my headset up too high. Yeah, I do. All right. What are we talking about today, Mr. Ty?
Celibacy.
Celibacy. okay. Back up. Some people don't know what that means. What that mean, Ty?
Okay, celibacy. Okay, celibacy means basically refraining from sex,
Refraining from sex.
sexual activity.
Follow. Ooh wee. Okay. This man said y'all got the refrain. Yeah, he said me. He talking about y'all now. Todd, you can't put me in that equation, right? Okay, cool. Now, why would somebody do that though? I mean, okay. Preachers do that, pastors do that, rabbis do that. You know what I'm saying? The Catholic priests do that. We know it comes out of that. But in any case, why would you do that?
Okay, before we get into why they should do it, let's just talk about. Let me just explain where celibacy comes from. Okay,
Okay, cool. Holla.
so so the English word celibacy is derived from the Latin word calibus, meaning unmarried. As most people know, to be celibate means to refrain from engaging in any kind of sexual activity with another person. So do people understand that?
I think they might understand that a little bit, but
Okay.
it ain't gonna make sense. But go ahead.
Okay, so celibacy has a long traditional stretching back hundreds of years. One of the first recorded celibates in history was Pythagoras, and who established a small community of like-minded people to study philosophy in the 6th century. He believed that engaging in physical relationships was a distraction to the mind and supported celibacy as a way to strengthen and improve philosophical thought. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. However, interaction with people can be a distraction.
Of course it is. Having a relationship is a distraction, but we're in a new day and age, pimp. Uh,
Okay,
uh, 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 Times have changed, and people are individuals now.
that is
They
true.
don't think like he thought.
Right.
Like he was putting together a group of like-minded people. There ain't no group of like-minded people on the planet today, man. Is you crazy?
Okay.
Hold on, and then you asking them not to have no good? Is you crazy?
Okay. I might be a little crazy. Now, let me just preface this. Now, normally I just give out information,
uh,
but today I'm be giving out information, but also my agenda here is also
Objective.
to direct the
Okay.
audience. So, and let me give a footnote where I get this from. So back when I was in college, I hung out with a group called the Pi Mu Wrecking Crew, and they were a chapter of Omega Psi fraternity. And through my interaction with them, I kind of subscribe to wrecking people too. So so this is going to be for information
Let's start right
purposes,
there.
but
Start
also
right there. Okay. But hold on. What does wrecking mean? What does that mean?
wrecking means like a wrecking ball, destroy something. So I'm about to destroy your belief in having
Oh,
recreational
okay.
sex. So
Okay,
So
cool, cool, cool,
now
cool.
I don't want anybody to take anything I say personal. This is really for entertainment purposes, but also for entertainment, but also educational purposes.
Educational. Got it, got it,
So I
got it.
don't want anybody to take this personal. I'm not talking about you specifically, and so you can take or leave what I'm going to tell you. Now,
He talking
you
about you
asked me
specifically, y'all. Go ahead.
you asked
Go
me
ahead.
why would people engage in celibacy? So people choose to be celibate for a variety of reasons. Most of them personal, but some of them personal, but also for religious reasons. Now,
Right.
religion is the most common reason people are motivated for celibacy. Now, what I'm here to say is I'm not promoting you be celibate. What I'm saying is you're not, how can I say this? You're not qualified to be having sex.
Not qualified.
You're not qualified.
Oh, hold on. I got a thing. She got a place for it. I'm qualified.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so let me ask you a question. What is the primary purpose of sex?
Procreation. Everybody
Okay,
know that, I
so
believe.
procreation is the primary purpose of it. Now, recreational sex is done outside of you're using sex for something other than its primary purpose, correct?
I agree. I agree.
Now, in the wild,
Uh-huh.
most animals only engage in sex for procreational purposes. Now, sometimes they do have recreational sex to relieve stress, and I'm not saying that you can't have recreational sex. However, the reason I'm saying you're not qualified for having sex is because no one's taught you how to have sex and what the ramifications of having sex on your body. And because you don't know this stuff, you're not qualified. So, for example, in order to drive a car, you have to pass a test and get a license to be legally able to drive that car. You have to show some type of ability to perform that function. So most people's parents don't talk to them about sex, don't tell them about sex. So they're out here practicing recreational sex and not knowing anything about what they're doing. So that's why I say you're not qualified. So let me prove that to you.
Okay. Okay.
So when a man ejaculates in a woman, he loses about 3 milligrams of zinc every time he ejaculates. That's a vital mineral that your body needs. If you don't know how to replace that, first off, you don't know that you're losing zinc and you don't know how
Right.
to
You don't
replace the zinc, you're not qualified to be having sex.
wait,
It's
stop.
that
Stop
simple.
right there. Stop right there. Sorry, hold that thought. Don't lose your train of thought either. Hold that thought. So I just lost 3 milligrams of zinc that I don't know how to put back. So
You
is
don't
that
even know you
so
lost
that's
it.
good. Right, I
So
don't know I lost it.
so now,
Go
second
ahead.
thing is when you deplete your minerals, there is a after long periods of time, there is a physical penalty for that.
Right, right. Effect.
So this is why you have people who end up having erectile dysfunction. You have people who have premature graying hair, loss of hair. These are all signs your body is giving you that you are deficient in something, and
Okay,
you
so stop right there. I kinda gotta agree with you. I hate to, but I got to. Okay, since I'm 59 and I'm seeing gray hair coming in, I lost a lot of zinc
yeah,
because it takes a while to lose it.
correct.
So when you see a dude walking down the street and he might be 60 years old, he got a head full of black hair and it ain't dyed, he ain't been ejaculated. Huh.
Or he knows how to replace the minerals and nutrients in his
Okay.
body.
Okay, keep going. Ooh, keep going.
Now, okay, so let me put it this way: when you okay, so society uses things to promote sex. They use TV,
Yes.
use movies,
Oh,
and
fine women. Fine
right,
women. Did I mention fine women?
yeah.
Fine women. Okay, go ahead.
So now women actually encourage sexual interest. Well, they encourage sexual interest because of just walking around, but they do things to actually encourage sexual interest and then say they don't want it. So, for example, when you're wearing high heel shoes, those were invented by a man. But what do you think the purpose of high heel shoes was?
Tell her, cause I got my own
So,
crazy
so
sexual
high heel
ideas. Go ahead.
shoes are elevating your heels and giving. First of all, it's harmful to the body because you're walking on high heel shoes. You're sending up shocks up your skeleton and shocking your uterus because you're not supposed to be walking like that. And then second, you're tooting. You're lifting up your rear end, so it's kind of giving someone a better view of the back side of your body. So what do you think
Ooh,
that's doing to somebody who's looking at you when you're
ooh
wearing high heel shoes?
wee! It making me go ooh wee! I want some of that. Hello, go ahead next.
Now you
Go ahead.
also have women wearing toxic lipstick, which has ingredients that are toxic to the body that's being absorbed through your lips into your bloodstream. But guess what? That lipstick is drawing attention to your mouth, giving someone the impression or giving somebody the idea of what you
Idea.
might be able to do with your lips.
Ooh, girl, stop it! I say, go ahead. Ugh.
Now, you're also wearing bras that have that are very, let's say, okay, bras are trapping the circulation of your lymphatic fluid. You're wearing that all day long, and your lymphatic fluid is supposed to circulate to remove toxins out of your body, but you're trapping it in your bra area, in your breast, over wearing this over time, and can cause yourself to have breast issues.
Okay, okay,
But
okay, okay.
you're
Someone
doing
got
all
to.
these things. You're doing all these things promoting sexual interest, but then you say you really don't want that sexual interest. But you're doing things that are causing you to causing unwanted sexual interest in yourself.
But start right there. 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 We didn't came a little too far for celibacy, don't you think?
No, no.
You don't
Okay,
think
okay.
we
Put
done
it this way.
came a little too?
I'm not saying that you have to be celibate, but there's a time to be celibate, and there's also a purpose to be celibate. So my point I'm trying to say to you is, for example, when you don't have an understanding of when you're using sex for recreational purposes, what that's actually doing is wrecking recreational purpose, but you're actually wrecking WRECK your body. You're wrecking your body because you don't know how to replenish the nutrients that you're losing, both men and women, by engaging in recreational sex.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So if I knew how to put everything back, could I have some recreational sex
Oh
then?
yeah, yeah. But like I said, you're not. Most people aren't qualified to be having sex because no one's taught them how to replace the vitamins, the minerals, and nutrients that they're losing.
Right.
So
Okay.
you are
Okay.
doing yourself a disservice over long periods of time because you are ignorant. See, so that's my point. You need to be celibate because you don't know what you're doing until somebody tells you. And so now here's the thing. What ends up happening is because we have so much sex is so prevalent in our society, you have
Ooh,
people
wait.
who are minors engaging in sex when number one, they're not financially stable enough to be supporting the child if they create one. They're not
Right.
emotionally stable enough,
Right.
and they're not psychologically stable enough. See, if it was me, what I would do is pass a law that stated if your minor son gets someone pregnant, the parents should have to pay the child support. Because guess what? If you start hitting the parents with the child support, they're gonna control their unchecked minor from having sex with you.
Let's stop right there. I like that. Stop right there. Hey, you hold on. So, how about the girl?
No,
She,
before,
she's
but see if you stop the boy from doing it, the girl won't have anybody to do it with.
yeah, but you're putting all the blame on the boy now.
Putting the blame on the boy's parents.
Yeah,
Or
but
you
you
know what
still
you can do? You can do. You know what you can do?
but
You can put the child support on both parents.
I,
And
I I agree with that one. I agree with that.
so then now the parents, both parents have to have their check garnished to support this child that's been created by their minor children.
Oh, okay, by minors only. What if they're not minors? How about if they're of age? And again, we know they don't qualify, but they're of age and they just got to have it. You know what I'm saying? Because that itch got to be scratched. So what do you say to those people?
Well, if you're over 18, then you're legally responsible for whatever you do. So
Yeah,
you
but
can't ask you can't
but
ask the
but but,
parents. You can't
but
ask
that's
the
where we're
parents.
at. No, no, no. But that's where we're at today. We're over the age of 18. Now you hit the minor point. I got that. I kind of like that one. But now let's move up to the next age. We're over 18. We're 18 and over. But I done been having some sex, and I got this itch, got to be scratched, and I just got to have it. And I want it, and I'm going to get it.
Okay. So that speaks to an education to the person. Number one, you have to understand when you engage in sex with someone, man or woman, you are exposing yourself to every person that they've ever had sex with. So that's number
Damn.
one. You need to think about that.
People
So
don't
every
think
person they've had sex with, every person, the other person. So it
right
goes on because you can be exposing yourself to thousands of people.
at one time. But that's a thought that never occurs when the little head start talking, the big head loses its all function. And you know this to be true. When you're
Right.
in the middle of go ahead, okay, go ahead.
So this is why parents need to have these discussions with children before they start engaging in sex, so that they can know how to navigate these desires.
So are you saying you're gonna have your talk to some with your son? You gonna tell him all this stuff you telling
Yeah,
everybody else?
right. And then
How you gonna
also,
do it?
there's
How you gonna do it?
I haven't got that all thought up, but I have to explain to him that sex is for procreational purposes, number one, and you see, you have to understand that a lot of people have misconceptions. They start thinking stuff like, "Oh, if I have sex standing up, the person can't get pregnant." All these things, they think you get all these things that come out, and people start thinking and believing, and then when somebody gets pregnant, they're like surprised. See, then you end up having a bunch of unwanted pregnancies. You have a bunch of children in poverty. People that grow up in single family households because you were engaging in some recreational sex, and you weren't cognizant
isn't
of
that
the.
isn't that about 90% of pregnancies though?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So we
crazy.
so here's the thing. Also, you have to also understand that there's an energetic connection you have with someone when you have sex with them.
True. There's a
You have
connection.
chakras, so
There's
your
a connection.
chakras are connecting with people,
Yeah,
and
there's a
so
connection.
your heart chakra is connected with their heart chakra, and so even when you're no longer with this person, you're still connected to them energetically, and then you
True.
end up having, because you don't know this and don't know how to sever those ties. You end up dealing with a situation like Beyonce sings "Crazy in Love." And see, when people fall in love with people, number one, you don't ever want to fall in love because falling
You know,
always involves an injury. It
okay.
always involves an injury. And what the conscious mind believes, the subconscious mind will retrieve. So your subconscious mind will give you that injury because you're walking around talking about, "I'm falling in love with so and so." See, and see, when you are have fell in love with someone, you are irrational and dangerous because you will hurt yourself, you will hurt someone else.
The
If
baby,
someone does not
man.
respond to your affection the way you feel like it, you have to understand that people are fickle. So that means they will change their mind about how they feel about you without any logical reason. They may find somebody else that they like better than you. So, and you, because you have fallen in love, you are now a danger to yourself because you will beat somebody up that's messing with your significant other. You will throw some hot grits on somebody. You will do all kinds of things to get yourself in trouble because you have didn't understand that you don't need to be falling in love with people.
Hold on. Stop for a second. Stop for a second. You say you throw hot grits. And it's ironic that you say this because I listen to this show and late at night on YouTube, and it's about all the different murders, and
Yeah,
everybody who is killed by the person that supposedly loved them.
right.
So
Because you're
everything you're saying
irrational.
is on point. Yeah, you're
You're
rational,
irrational.
and I'm talking about young people. These
Yeah,
are all young people just dying at the hands of the guy that loved so-called loved them. So this
right.
is wow. This is on point. Okay, go ahead.
So let me give you a better way to think of love. You don't want to fall in love with people because falling always involves an injury. You want to
Right?
ascend in love with someone. So it means that
You want to
you're
what?
rising up. You're rising
You,
up in love.
you
Just
want to do
naturally
what with? What'd you call it?
ascending in love.
Okay.
So that's a
Okay.
better term. Now, okay, let me go to another topic. Do you know that in nature, both plants and animals all have a mating season? Are you aware of that?
Yes.
So, as a human being, you're an animal. There's a mating season that applies to you too. However, because you are in civilization, meaning that you've been imprisoned away from nature, you're not in touch with your body because you only feel about 10% of the things that go on in your body, and 90% doesn't know. And because you believe that you are have a higher mental function that you don't have to subscribe to the mating season. Now, the mating season is there for a reason. The reason that plants and animals have babies in the spring is because they know that in the spring there's a more abundance of food. It's more safer. It's not cold. There's better survival. But see, we have deviated from the mating season because
Man,
we think it's okay.
we make year round, don't we? We
We mate year round, and
we got
so
to have it.
and see the problem also is there's a time to be celibate. A lot of animals actually, after they have a child, have a baby, will not have sex again for 2 to 3 years. So there's no I'm having a child this year and next year I got a whole nother litter and next year. No,
Uh,
they have to give their body
how
a
about
break.
at the end of 12 months,
Right,
the baby's already pregnant again?
right. So you gave birth to a baby and got pregnant 2 months later, and you had your
Not
body
even two
pregnant.
months.
Right, you
Not
had your
even 2 months.
so that means that you were pregnant for 24 months
24 months.
consecutively.
Yes.
And you have to understand that when you don't know, when you engage in recreational sex and don't have not armed yourself with how to replace the nutrients in your body, you can cause problems. So, for example, you have to understand when you have a child in your body, the child takes precedence over your health. So, if the child needs calcium and if you're not eating enough calcium, they'll pull the calcium out of your bones. And that's why you see women that their teeth get loose when they're pregnant because are losing calcium. You
Well,
know,
I'll stop right there. I got to elaborate there. I got to add something there right there. You're right with what you said, especially when it comes to minerals, because women don't realize that when you get pregnant, you need specific minerals in your body so that the baby can develop well. And one of the main minerals is iodine. This is not taught anywhere. Again, you're right when you said you have to qualify to have sex because if you don't know what your body needs and you go and you get pregnant, you can have
you can have a
a,
dwarf.
a dwarf, a retarded baby, retardation, all because the lack of iodine, dwarfism, retardation, you name the issue, it's a mineral deficiency, and that you're not being taught. And parents ain't teaching the children at home about this stuff because they don't know.
So
So,
once
so
again, it goes back to my premise that you should not be engaging in recreational sex because you're not qualified. You're not
dang.
qualified.
At first, I didn't believe it, but now it's starting to make sense. I really was against what you were saying. You
I
know what
know
I'm
you
saying?
were. That's why I came
Because
out
I got
guns
to have it.
blazing. I
'Cause,
came out guns blazing because I knew
you
that you
did.
would come with
Oh, I was looking, but then you slapped me upside my head with the facts, and it's like, wait a minute. Oh, I've read that. Oh, I read that in the medical book. You're right. I don't
and
think
see,
Todd. I don't think any of us qualifies for sex,
no,
bro.
no, you do. Now, listen. You can have procreational sex and be a little bit mineral deficiency because the body will find a way. Like I said, if you don't have the minerals, the body will pull what it needs to keep the baby safe. But it'll come out. It'll come out of your expense. So but like I said, it's better to be qualified. Now, here's the thing: as a general rule, and this is going to be kind of crazy, you probably should only be having sex about 7 to 10 times in your whole life. But because you're having sex like 3, 4 times a week, you've got to know how to put these minerals back.
Ooh, we. Because you're not okay. So basically, you're not really trying to stop people. You just want to kind of educate them on the effects of what they're doing because they don't know, and their parents definitely haven't taught them. So if you're going to do these things, obviously the right thing to do would be to refrain. But if you're not going to refrain, at least start putting your minerals back before you start the activity because the act of having this without knowing is death, basically.
So when I'm okay, I think I've switched roles because usually I'm the nice guy and you're the bad guy. But this time it is. I know they're not. I know they're not going to learn. So you need to You need to refrain because you're not going to put in the effort to learn these things. So you're not qualified.
Okay. They're not gonna stop. Well, first, look. That's like asking me if I'm gonna stop. Okay, so I got. Am I gonna stop or am I gonna keep going? I'm keeping going. Why?
Okay.
Well, I know how to put the minerals back, but the average person knows how to put the mineral back. And asking a person to stop doing something that they like or want to do because they think they're grown, minus their ignorance, they're not gonna stop. Pimp down. They're not finna stop.
Well, okay. Okay, I agree. They're not going to stop. So
It
I
ain't gonna
guess
stop.
the best point is to try to educate people on how to engage in recreational sex.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that you because you what you're doing is stressing the body, and if you
And if
don't know
you
how to,
and let me say this, and if you bring Jesus in the equation, are you do you think people are gonna listen when you bring him into the equation? Or unless he brings himself into the equation. See, I don't think they're going to do anything until he brings himself into the equation because it's like the apostles, they spoke of the things that we're supposed to do, but how many people are doing what they spoke of? How many people in the church are doing what they spoke of? But we ain't gonna go there
okay.
because that's religion. Okay, good. So go ahead, Mr. Herbert. Go ahead. How we gonna promote and help these people because
Okay,
they're not gonna stop.
let me see. Okay, so let me. If you're not going to stop having recreational sex, then you at least need to know who to have recreational sex with. So if you're going to have recreational sex, most people are having recreational sex based on beauty instead of compatibility. And
Hold
see
on,
what
stop,
happens.
stop. Hold on, stop. Stop, 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 stop. What's the criteria for compatibility?
You need to find someone who thinks like you, who's somebody who is
But wait a minute, stop. I gotta stop you right there. I gotta stop you right there. When a guy walks up to a girl and he dropping his lines, he ain't thinking like her. Well, hold on. Not only is he not thinking like she don't even know him.
right. So
So, but
you shouldn't be having sex until you know the person.
then yeah, but we got to stop right there because in our society today, it never gets that far. For example, if I say the right things to a girl that I walk up to 9 out of 10 times in her messed up head, she gonna fall for me,
So
especially.
so wait a minute. Are you saying you got game like that?
Hold up, Pimp, you talking to me,
Okay.
okay?
Well,
So
okay.
I'm not gonna sound like the average guy. Well, first of all, I'm not gonna sound like the average guy. And if I was a real loser, I could woo the baddest female on the planet simply because I know what to say. Now, a lot of guys are doing just that, and they ain't got to be bad. All they
Now,
got to
okay.
just be a not afraid. Okay, that's
Okay.
today.
So that goes back to your parents educating you, and you not basing somebody being able to talk their way into your pajamas.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, because you
So,
got
so
see, because back in the day, back in the day, you had to court somebody, and you
yes,
had to
that's
get
correct.
approval. You had to
That's
ask
correct.
permission.
Uh, Back in the day, it's gone. What's that song? Back in the days when I was, how that song go? Back in the days, it's a new day now, pimp. It's
Okay,
up in the days when I knew how to run that game. Up in the days, she thought a man was a man. Up in the day, he could do what he want. Now, guess what? Up in the day, we ain't back in the day no more.
okay. So here's the thing: when you engage in I'm gonna give some more information. When you engage in recreational sex, and you don't know what you're doing, you can cause yourself erectile dysfunction. You can cause yourself to have fibroid tumors. Because number one, you got to understand that you're not only are you depleting yourself of minerals, but you're toxic. So
Very toxic.
so this is why you're having menstrual cycles that last more than 3 days because you're toxic. So you need to understand that number one, not only do you need to know that you need to detoxify yourself so you can be so that you can have recreational sex with someone, but you also need to know how to build the body from a mineral perspective so that you don't have fibroid too. Because see, what ends up happening is you prematurely wreck your body, and then you're at the doctor's office, and he's talking about pulling your whole damn uterus out for hysterectomy.
Oh, dude, I heard this conversation. I got to stop you right there. I heard two ladies. I was sitting in a room with five ladies. I heard two ladies go, I had my hysterectomy, my hysterectomy, my uterus taken out, and I'm happy and I'm good. I feel. Two ladies said that, and I was just sitting there dying inside because I understood what they didn't themselves understood about themselves. If God put your uterus in your body, why would you allow man to take it out? Stop before you say what you're about to say. Stop it. Yeah, but I'm sick, and the doctor said I gotta have this taken out. No, you don't understand, ladies. Man didn't make man. Just because you have a swollen or inflamed uterus does not mean it must come out. Just because you got a fibroid tumor or ovarian cyst does not mean they should cut you up or cut out your uterus. It's there for a reason. And since man didn't make man, you really got to stop and get a second, and third, fourth, and fifth opinion because God didn't put you here to have you sliced and diced up like luncheon meat. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mister.
So that's just more evidence that you are not
Yes.
qualified to be having recreational
Oh.
sex.
You're killing me. You're killing me, Todd. You're killing me.
So now listen. Okay, let's go back to the beauty thing. So you should be focusing on compatibility. Someone who's going to want to raise children like you do, who's going to be around to raise the children. Now, even when we're dealing with beauty, there's a disconnect, and this is going. I don't want people to get mad at me, but okay, I'm going to just say it. In school, 70% is considered average. That's a C, right?
Right.
80% is a B. That's
Okay.
above average.
Right.
90% is an A. 100% is like you're perfect. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if you ask a man or a woman to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10, they use an academic scale, and the problem with that is you are you are elevating your level of attractiveness for your own self-esteem purposes. Now, the reason I say that is, for example, women are generally in general attractive. But if you
Right.
are a five, means that if you're a five,
If
means
you
that
ugly as hell, go ahead.
no,
If
no,
you
no.
ugly as hell,
If you're a five, that means you're average. An average woman is attractive. That means you look better than 50% of the women out here, and 50% of women look better than you. Now, when you start talking about I'm an eight is a goddamn I'm stopping traffic because I look better than 80% of the women out here. I can't even walk down the street because I might cause an accident. See,
you're crazy. Okay. I
see. And
hate.
now, here's the thing: because you start thinking that you're actually more attractive than you actually are, you feel like you're entitled to be having more sex than you should be having, both men and women. See, here's the
Right.
problem with this. You are, there's nothing wrong with being a five. A five means I'm average. Let me tell you what a 7 point a seven is. A seven is somebody like Thelma from Good Times. Attractive, nice
And she was
body,
beautiful.
and
She
straight.
was beautiful.
She's looking better than about 70% of the women out here.
Man, hold
Maybe
on. Back up. Back up.
75%.
Oh, hold up. Thelma was beautiful and fine. Negro.
So she might be an eight. She might look better
She
than
wasn't no.
80% of the women.
She wasn't no seven. Thelma was no seven. She was too fine to be a seven.
So wait, are you saying that Thelma look better than 99% of women out here? There's women out there
You
look better than her.
doggone right. You
No,
doggone right.
she
She
looks
was
better.
authentic.
She looks better than about 25. Let's say 20% of the women out here.
Man, she was authentic. She wasn't fat. She was perfect. Skin,
I'm saying
beautiful,
for her
dark black.
in her
Huh?
time, in her
Oh,
time, because you got to remember back in the 70s and stuff like that, you had people like Jane Kenny. People weren't eating all this fast food, so she had more competition back then.
look. No, 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 no. We ain't talking about authentic beauty. We ain't talking about makeup beauty.
Okay, we're
Because
gonna
when you
talk
pull
about
that
makeup
paint
in a
off,
minute.
when you
We'll
pull
talk
that
about
paint
makeup.
off, you talking about ward. So no,
Okay,
no, no.
okay. So let's just say she's an 8.5.
Okay.
So when you ask the average woman, I'm gonna give you a homework assignment. Next time you're at dinner with a group of people, just ask them to rate themselves and watch how many people say, well, if they're modest, they'll say I'm a 7, I'm a 7.5. Guys and men, women and men, because you don't. First of all, you don't look bad. Most people who say they're a 7, 7.5, they do not look better than 75% of their gender out here. Most people are five. But see, no one wants to be a five because they're not grading themselves on a statistical measure. They're grading themselves on an academic measure.
Right.
So someone who's like a 8.5, 9, that would be someone like Kelly from Destiny's Child or Beyonce. When you look,
Yes.
see,
Yes.
that's when you're like, damn, well,
Yes.
she's looking better. She's stopping traffic. That's a 9.
And
I don't believe in any tens out here.
Kelly Rowland. Kelly
Kelly
Rowland. Is that her
Rowland.
name? Kelly
Yeah.
Rowland. Yes.
So
Yes.
that's when that's what you look. That's what so when you but you when the average woman who's most women way more than men nowadays. If
Right.
you think about it, now the women are supposed to be the smaller race, smaller gender, but most women are heavier than their spouse
Yeah,
because
I
of
see a lot of that. I
because
see a
of the
lot of that.
diet and the lifestyle. And
Right.
see, the issue with this is we have now changed our standard of beauty because people are starting to think like, I want a man or I want a woman with some meat on their bones. Or I want somebody heavy because we're looking for someone because that's what's out here. That's all that's out here available. You're not seeing Jane Kennedy walking around the streets like you used to do in the 70s. Women with cut off
Right.
t-shirts and shorts. You
Ain't
know,
no more Jay Kennedys. Ain't no more Daisy Dukes.
ain't no more, Foxy Browns walking around here.
Right.
You see these women, these walking around here like at 50 looking like that. And
Right.
see, the problem is you are already unhealthy based on your diet and lifestyle, and you complement you're actually compounding that with having recreational sex, depleting the
Sex.
minerals out of your body, and now you have a recipe for a health issue. So that's
All
why
right.
I
All
believe
right.
people are not qualified for recreational sex.
You made your point. You made your point. You really did make a good point, by the way. I got to admit, you came ready. Uh, is there a solution?
The solution is you've got to know how to get zinc in your body. That's number one for men. So
Okay.
that means you need
How
to
about
be
for
eating.
women? How about for women?
They need zinc as well. So okay, for women, I would say they need to focus on detoxification. So they need to use like we have a product called our complete body detox. They need to be detoxing at least once a year,
Right.
maybe even more often, depending on your diet. Men need to detoxify themselves, but they also need to, because they are the ones who are losing the minerals, they need to be focusing on putting zinc back in their body. Women need to be focused on keeping iron on their body because most women are anemic because they have a
I,
menstrual cycle that is too long, and they
I,
so
I
they
I
get.
would say, I would say iodine is like my number one pick for women today. Unquestionable. They must have every day in their body iodine. You can't get enough,
And
especially before birth and even after birth, because that stops the fibroid tumors in ovarian cysts. So go
right,
ahead,
that's true.
which is prevalent. Which is
And
prevalent. Go ahead.
and see, back in the okay, I'm not gonna say back in the day. It's important to understand that you should probably be having about two children to replace the population. It's a man and a woman probably should have two children. But if you have one, if you're getting if you're having your uterus pulled out, at 30. And see, here's a problem: women have children later now because they focus on their career first, and then when they
Right.
get around to being, they're missing their prime childbearing years. They've pushed it back, but by the time you get ready to have these children, your uterus is so messed up. You're on the path to a hysterectomy.
Mm. Okay, ladies. As far as that hysterectomy thing is concerned, now, when do they give hysterectomy start?
They get hysterectomies. Okay, so let me put it this way. Usually women have fibroid tumors that they leave unchecked because the
Right.
doctor tells them, come back next year with your pap smear.
Right.
We'll check to see if it gets any worse. They don't tell you how to get rid of the fibroid tumors. They
Right.
just tell you to, come back and check. And it gets a little, if it gets big enough, they'll scrape them off. And if you keep having fibroid tumors, which you're going to have because you have not eliminated the cause that you have them, they're going to keep coming back, even if you scrape them
Right.
off. They finally
Right.
say, you know what, this is so bad. Your menstrual cycle is so bad. You're having pain while you're having intercourse. Let's just take the whole goddamn uterus out.
Wow.
And then you have, see, when you do that, you have other problems because you have hormonal issues because now you have to end up taking drugs like Premarin, which is derived from pregnant mare urine, so pregnant horse urine, to replace the hormones so you're not acting crazy. Because when you have because you end up having, emotional issues from having your uterus taken out.
Ladies, 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 guys, and ladies. I think the herbalist made a point.
And I'm going to say that since I know that people are not, I'm gonna adopt your philosophy. I know they're not going to
Okay.
change, so they need to be. I'm promoting. I'm prescribing celibacy for all of them.
It ain't gonna happen, pimp. You
I,
can you
I
can
I gave
you
my
can take that
recommendation.
prescription. Look, you can take that prescription and recommendation off the table because that is not about to happen. You can't ask a society that's anew, that is completely changed, to do what is best for themselves. They haven't done that yet, just with minerals and nutrients. Heck, they don't even know that they need minerals and nutrients. They don't even know. Come on, man. Come on,
Well,
man.
here's the thing: if you don't, since you're not going to learn, you're not going to
Right?
make the changes.
Okay.
What's waiting for you is to be sitting on the sidewalk watching a beautiful woman talking about back in my younger days, I was you can't
No,
do nothing
back
now because
no,
you got
back in
erectile
the
dysfunction and you only
you talking about
45 years old.
back in the
Yeah.
day when I was young. I'm not a kid anymore. that's,
Or
that's
you're a
what you're
woman
talking about.
who can't who no longer can procreate because you've let your body you've wrecked your health through recreational health and poor dietary choices and lack of minerals that now you are you've aged prematurely and
Okay, we go.
you're subject to all these medical procedures that are going to complicate your life even further.
Okay, so how you reach the herbalist is 888-619-4372. Where you can actually go and start learning a little bit about what you need. Now, do you recommend, or you recommend zinc, iodine, iron? What else?
The complete body detox, and you
The
can find
complete
it on
body
most of the
detox.
websites.
Okay,
Your website.
www.theurbanherb.net or www.herbsoftheforest.com. Eight eight
Now,
eight 619 4372. Go ahead,
and
Tyler.
I will say this now. Be honest with you, I'm mainly this was a more I wanted to be more entertaining than I normally am. So I want you to take this not personal, but take it as information in a comical fashion for you to try to make some changes in your life. Because I do believe people can change. They just need to be motivated to make the change.
Well, I don't believe people can change. So, anyway, keep having that. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep knocking them doors down.
So
And
keep using keep doing recreational sex,
huh.
WRECKING, wrecking their body.
Well, it's gonna happen. So all we're here to do is offer an alternative to what they're doing already. See,
Here's
that's
the
all we're
thing
here to
too.
do.
Here's the thing too. When you have recreational sex wrecking your body,
Mhm.
it leads to marital problems because at some point you're not going to be able to function anymore, and then
That's true.
your wife or your husband will be looking for that somewhere else.
Yes, I see that too. I talk to people every day. Got that problem right now. So again, I have to admit, and I hate admitting when you're right. I really don't like that. But anyway, no, you stole the show. With truth, knowledge, insight, wisdom. So for
So you
anybody who
know,
hears
you
this,
know what we need to do. They have those little. Remember back in the 17th century, they had those little things that women could wear.
chastity belt. It's called a
Yeah.
chastity belt.
So can you put those on your website so people can get these?
Nah, nah, ain't gonna happen, Captain. Hey, Captain, it ain't gonna happen. Okay, because I had to key to all of them. Okay, so ain't gonna happen, Captain.
Okay.
Nah, they got it. They just got to refrain. They got to refrain. If they really want the best outcome, refrain. If you don't, do what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm one who would honestly refrain. I would refrain. That's what I would do. So I don't go around slanging Willie. I might talk a good game, but no man. Not too many diseases looking for you. They got your name and everything, address and your name.
You walk around and talking about I'm crazy in love. Be
Uh,
seeing people outside. I'm crazy in love.
My name is Forrest Gump.
And I'm Todd Liner. Thank you for
Thanks for
listening.
listening to this crazy show.
All
Until
right.
next time, stay tuned.